Welcome to today's deep dive. We're going to be exploring the impact of AI on international relations.
Fascinating stuff.
Yeah, it is. And we're going to be using this book to guide our conversation today. The Politics of AI.
That's a good one.
Yeah, it is. It's got some really, really fascinating insights into how AI is shaping global power and ethics and even democracy.
It's a big topic these days.
It really is.
Yeah.
So whether you're like prepping for a meeting or just curious about the future, understanding this is really crucial.
Oh, yeah. This stuff is only becoming more important.
Absolutely. One of the first things that struck me when I was reading this book was how they emphasize AI's dual nature.
Oh, yeah.
Like on the one hand, it's this incredible tool with so much potential.
Like for good.
Good. Exactly. Like think revolutionizing healthcare or, tackling climate change, right?
Right.
But then on the other hand, you've got all these potential risks.
Yeah, it's that double-edged sword.
It really is. It's exciting, but also kind of scary at the same time.
Oh, absolutely. It's a real tightrope walk.
Yeah, exactly. And, the book also really dives into how AI is going to be reshaping global power dynamics like we're talking about.
Yeah.
Countries like the U.S. and China and the EU,
Yeah.
all competing for AI supremacy.
It's like a new kind of arms race almost. Like rather than stockpiling weapons,
Right.
they're racing to develop the most sophisticated AI.
It makes you wonder if AI is going to be like the deciding factor in who has the most power in the future.
I think it has a real good shot at it.
Yeah.
I mean, it's
hard to predict, but
hard to predict, but you can already see how it's influencing like economic and political decisions.
absolutely. I thought it was interesting how the book uses the example of the EU's GDPR, like the General Data Protection Regulation,
Oh, yeah.
to show how differently, like different regions are approaching AI and data privacy.
Yeah, it's such a complex issue.
It really is. And there's no easy answers, right?
Like no
These-
one-size-fits-all solution.
It seems like every region is trying to figure out its own way to approach it.
Trying to fit those pieces together
Yeah.
into the global puzzle.
Right.
Yeah, and I think one thing is for sure, though, we got to find a way to ensure like responsible AI development.
Yeah, no matter where it's happening.
Yeah, exactly. You can't just leave it up to chance
Right, right.
because the stakes are so high.
It makes me think about, the UN Sustainable Development Goals, the SDGs, and how progress has been kind of lagging, Could AI actually be the key to like finally achieving those goals?
It's a really interesting idea.
It is, isn't it?
Like, imagine if AI could help us, personalize education or develop new renewable energy sources.
Or just optimize resource allocation.
Yeah, exactly. The possibilities are huge.
They're mind-blowing, almost.
Right.
Yeah. But then the book also lays out these 8 key challenges, right?
Yeah.
That come with using AI in international relations.
Right.
It's like for every potential solution, there's a new set of problems.
Challenges.
Yeah, challenges. Where do we even begin with all of this?
It's a lot, right?
It is.
Well, I think one of the challenges that really stood out to me was this whole issue of transparency
Oh, yeah.
with these AI systems.
They're so complex,
They are.
especially the ones that are based on deep learning.
Yeah, we don't even really always understand how they reach their conclusions.
Right. It's like a black box almost.
It is.
You put something in and something comes out, but you don't really know what happens in between.
And that makes it really hard to trust their decisions.
Especially when it's like a high-stakes situation.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, how can we trust a system if we don't understand the reasoning?
Did a really good point.
And, the book actually talks about the 3 main types of AI to kind of illustrate this.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, like prediction machines and clustering machines and generative machines.
Okay.
Like ChatGPT is a good example.
Oh, yeah. Everyone's talking about ChatGPT.
It really captured the public's imagination, right?
It has.
But it also raises all these questions about, like, the nature of creativity.
Yeah.
And, the ethics of AI-generated content.
It really makes you think.
It does. It does.
Like, where do we draw the line between human ingenuity and artificial intelligence?
It's getting blurrier all the time.
It is, isn't it?
Yeah. And, like, what does that mean for things like copyright and intellectual property?
Yeah, those are big questions.
Big questions. And I think as AI gets more sophisticated,
Yeah,
it's only going to get more and more difficult.
I think so.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Another challenge the book brought up was the issue of cross-border data flow.
Oh, yeah.
For AI to really flourish, we need to be able to move data freely across borders.
That makes sense.
Right. It would allow for global collaboration and innovation.
But then doesn't that raise concerns about data privacy and security?
It does. It does. It's a balancing act, for sure.
Yeah, how do you strike the balance?
Yeah, like between being open and also protecting sensitive information,
Mm-hmm.
it's tough.
It's a tough one.
Yeah,
And I think the book does a good job of highlighting how complex this issue is,
it does.
but it also emphasizes the need for
International cooperation.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
We can't just have each country doing its own thing.
Right.
We need some kind of global framework
Yep.
that promotes both innovation and security.
So it's not just about like the technological challenges here.
Right.
It's also about like navigating all these ethical and geopolitical dilemmas.
Exactly.
Yeah,
It's a whole new world.
it really is. And another challenge the book brought up was the vast array of applications for AI.
Oh, yeah, like where is it actually being used?
Exactly. The book touches on fields like renewable energy, finance, and biomedicine.
So pretty much everywhere.
Yeah. It seems like every day there's a new way AI is being used.
Yeah.
It's exciting to think about all the problems we could solve,
I
right?
think developing new clean energy sources
Or curing diseases.
curing diseases.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's amazing.
It really is. But then there's the other side of that coin where AI could be used in ways that are harmful, right?
Right.
Or even dangerous.
Yeah.
The book talks about the impact of AI on political outcomes.
Okay.
And that's where things get a bit unsettling.
Yeah. How so?
Well, they used that example of the deepfake video of Nancy Pelosi that went viral a few years ago.
Yeah, I remember that.
It was altered to make it look like she was slurring her words.
It was crazy convincing.
It was. Like, it was scary how real it looked.
Mm-hmm.
And it really shows how AI can be used to, like, manipulate information and sow discord,
Just like, how do you even know what's real anymore?
Stuff, right.
Yeah.
It feels like we're entering this new era of information warfare.
Yeah.
Where, like, the battleground is our mind.
Where the weapons are these AI systems that can just create content that is both persuasive and deceptive.
So how do we defend ourselves against that?
Right.
I mean, one thing is definitely like media literacy and critical thinking skills, right?
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. Like we have to be able to evaluate information carefully.
And not just blindly believe everything we see or hear online.
Yeah, that's more important now than ever.
Yeah, yeah.
Absolutely.
So we've talked about transparency, data flow, applications, and this impact on political outcomes.
Mhm.
What's next?
Well, the book also dives into these data challenges that come with AI development.
Oh, yeah.
It's not just about like having access to data.
Right.
It's also about making sure that data is accurate and unbiased and representative.
Like that old saying, garbage in, garbage out.
Exactly.
If you train an AI on bad data,
Yeah.
you're going to get bad results.
Right. And that bias can have really serious real-world consequences.
Especially when you're using AI in things like hiring or lending or even criminal justice.
It's a big deal.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
The book actually mentions something called synthetic data as a potential solution.
Oh, really?
Have you heard of that?
I haven't.
It's basically creating these artificial data sets that are like more representative and less biased than real world data.
Interesting.
So instead of relying on data that's like messy and imperfect,
Mm-hmm.
we can create these idealized data sets.
To train AI.
Yeah.
That's a fascinating idea.
It's like creating a perfect world for AI training.
It makes you wonder if that's the way to go
Right.
to make sure that we're not perpetuating biases
Exactly.
in these systems.
It really highlights how important human intervention is in all of this.
Oh, absolutely.
You know, we can't just let the machines run wild.
We have to be involved.
We need to be guiding them, making sure they're aligned with our values.
If we want AI to benefit everyone.
Exactly. So we've covered 5 challenges so far: transparency, data flow, applications, political impact, and now data challenges.
5 down, 3 to go.
I know. And I have a feeling it's only going to get more intense from here.
Probably. But before we jump into those next 3, I'm curious to hear what's standing out to you so far.
What are your initial thoughts?
Yeah, like what's hitting you the hardest about this whole AI and international relations landscape?
I think what's really striking me is just the sheer scale of the impact AI is having on the world stage.
Yeah.
It's not just a technological advancement anymore.
It's like reshaping everything.
It is. It's reshaping global power dynamics. It's challenging our democratic institutions. It's
Yeah.
even making us question what it means to be human.
That's a big one.
It is. It's a lot to process, for sure.
It is, but I think it's so important that we're having these conversations.
Right?
Yeah, because the future of AI isn't something that's just happening to us.
Right.
We're actively shaping it.
It's like we're all in this together.
We are?
Yeah, and the choices we make today are going to have ripple effects for generations to come.
Absolutely.
So it's not just about watching this unfold.
Right.
We need to be actively engaged in shaping this AI-powered future.
Exactly. And it's not about being afraid of AI or trying to stop it.
Right.
It's about understanding it, both the good and the bad.
Both the good and the bad.
And then working together to make sure it's used for the benefit of all humanity.
Couldn't have said it better myself.
Well said.
Okay, so with that in mind, let's dive into those next 3 challenges. The economic impact, the challenge of truth, and the implications for warfare and conflict.
Let's do it.
I'm ready when you are.
Those are some big ones.
They are.
Yeah.
But I think they're really important to discuss
I agree.
if we want to understand how AI is shaping the world around us.
Absolutely. It's essential.
Okay.
All right, let's do it.
Okay, so we've gone through a lot with these 8 key challenges. But before we get too deep into the weeds here, let's step back for a sec.
Okay.
And talk about this idea that the book emphasizes,
Okay.
which is the human factor.
Yeah.
It's so easy to get caught up in the technology that we forget. Like, at the end of the day, it's humans making the decisions.
It is. It is.
About how this all unfolds.
We can't forget that.
We can't.
Yeah, it's like having this, this powerful new tool. It can be used to build amazing things.
Right.
But it can also cause a lot of damage.
If it's not used responsibly.
Exactly.
Right.
And that's why the book is arguing that, human oversight is just absolutely crucial.
Yeah.
You need to have these ethical frameworks in place to guide the development of AI.
Yeah.
And you need to be constantly evaluating the impact on society.
And making adjustments as needed.
Exactly. It's not just about building smarter machines.
Right.
It's about making sure those machines are serving humanity.
Right. Not the other way around.
Yeah, exactly.
How do you even implement that kind of oversight, though?
That is the question.
Because it feels like it's advancing so rapidly.
Yeah.
How do we keep up, let alone steer it in the right direction?
That is the million-dollar question. And the book doesn't necessarily offer any easy solutions, but one thing it really stresses is the importance of collaboration.
Oh, yeah.
We need governments, researchers, industry leaders, even everyday citizens working together to figure this out.
So it's kind of like a global team effort
to
tackle this.
It has to be.
Like we do with climate change, but this is on the digital front.
Exactly.
Yeah, and it's not just about the tech experts, right?
Yeah. No, not at all.
We need diverse perspectives.
Absolutely. Yeah, we need
to make sure this benefits everyone.
Ethicists, social scientists, legal experts.
Yeah.
Even artists and philosophers.
I like that.
Yeah, the more diverse the perspectives, the better equipped we are to
anticipate problems.
Yeah, anticipate problems, come up with solutions that we might not have thought of otherwise.
I know the book also mentions this concept of human-centered AI.
Oh, yeah. I've heard that term thrown around.
Is that just a buzzword, or is there more to it?
I think it's more than a buzzword.
Oh.
It's really a design philosophy that puts human needs and values and well-being at the center of AI development.
Oh.
So it's not just about creating systems that are intelligent.
Right. But also, transparent, accountable, aligned with our values.
So instead of replacing humans, it's more about finding ways for AI to enhance our capabilities.
Exactly. Yeah, it's about augmenting human intelligence, creativity, empathy.
I like that.
It's not about creating machines that think like humans,
right,
but machines that can help humans think and act more effectively.
So AI working with humans to solve problems.
Yes.
To create a better future.
The book makes this argument a very compelling one, I think, that neither AI nor human intelligence alone can really solve these complex challenges we face.
Yeah.
It's the combination of the two that holds the most promise.
I like that. Each brings something unique to the table.
Exactly.
AI can process tons of data, identify patterns that humans might miss.
Yeah.
And we bring our critical thinking, creativity.
And emotional intelligence.
Emotional intelligence, yeah.
Right.
So it's about leveraging the strengths of both.
It is. It's about creating a more just, sustainable, and peaceful world.
That's a beautiful vision.
That's the vision. Okay, so we've got human oversight, ethical frameworks, and collaboration are key.
Yeah.
But I'm still wondering, what concrete solutions does the book actually propose?
Right. How do we navigate this new world?
Yeah, how do we make sure it benefits everyone?
It doesn't really offer a, step-by-step roadmap.
Okay.
But there are a few things that are emphasized.
Okay.
One of the key themes is international cooperation.
Oh, yeah.
So instead of countries just doing their own thing.
Right.
We need a global effort to set standards and regulations.
So it's like a global rule book for AI.
Exactly. Yeah, we need a global framework for AI governance that addresses, data privacy, algorithmic bias, the ethical implications of autonomous weapons systems, things like that. And
Yeah.
no single nation can solve these problems on their own.
Almost like we need a global AI treaty.
Yeah, it's an interesting idea.
Right.
And the book does mention the need for,
Yeah.
robust international agreements and ethical guidelines.
Yeah, it's like we got to hold each other accountable to make sure that AI isn't being used for bad things.
Absolutely, because we've seen how technology can be misused
Right.
in the past.
We don't want that to happen with AI.
And we have to be proactive to prevent that.
Right, right.
And remember that black box problem we were talking about?
Yeah, the lack of transparency
Yeah.
and how AI makes decisions.
The book really advocates for greater transparency
Yeah.
in AI development.
Like, especially when it comes to high-stakes situations
Yeah.
where lives are at stake.
Exactly. We need to understand how those systems are making those decisions.
Right, right.
And so the book suggests things like, requiring companies to disclose the data sets they use,
Oh.
to train their algorithms, conducting independent audits of AI systems.
Like checks and balances.
Exactly. Just to make sure they're functioning as intended.
So it's about making sure AI is operating in a way that is fair
Yes.
and unbiased and accountable.
Precisely.
Okay.
And then finally, the book emphasizes public education about AI.
Oh, yeah, that's a good one.
We need a citizenry that understands.
Both the benefits
Yes.
and the risks of this technology.
You can't just leave it to the experts.
Right.
Everybody needs to be part of this conversation.
You need to empower people to be able to have these discussions.
Exactly. Yeah, we need to move beyond just the hype and the fear surrounding AI
Right.
and start having these nuanced conversations.
Yeah, about how we want it to shape our future.
That's what it's all about.
This deep dive has given me a lot to think about,
Me too.
but I'm curious, what is like the one key message you want our listeners to take away from this conversation so far?
I think the most important thing is that the future of AI is not set in stone.
Okay.
It's a future that we are shaping
Right now.
right now through the choices we make, the
Yeah.
conversations we have,
Uh-huh.
the actions we take. AI has the potential to be this incredible force for good in the world,
Yeah.
but it's up to us to make sure that happens.
To approach it with wisdom and foresight
Ex-
and with this deep commitment to human values.
Couldn't have said it better myself.
That's powerful.
It's a reminder that we all have a role to play
We do.
in shaping this future.
It's not just up to the tech experts or the policymakers.
Right.
It's all of us.
It's all of us, yeah.
Well, we've covered a lot of ground today, that's for sure.
We have
Given our listeners plenty to ponder.
a lot to think about.
But we're not done yet.
No, we're not.
In the final part of our deep dive, we're going to explore some of the broader philosophical questions raised by AI
Oh, yeah.
and how it's becoming more integrated into international relations.
Like, what does it all mean?
Exactly, exactly. We'll be talking about its implications for global power dynamics,
Okay.
the future of democracy, and even the very nature of what it means to be human in this AI-powered world.
Can't wait.
Big questions,
Good question.
but important ones.
Absolutely.
Stay tuned. All right, so welcome back to the final part of our deep dive into AI and international relations.
It's been quite a journey
It
through these benefits and risks.
Yeah, all these challenges and solutions and the human factor.
Mm-hmm.
Now it's time to, step back,
Zoom out.
zoom out, and look at the big picture.
The big picture, exactly. And see how this landscape is changing.
Yeah, the book, The Politics of AI, really pushes us to think about these big questions, right?
Yeah.
Like, how is AI going to affect the balance of power on the world stage?
That's a huge one, right?
It is. It is.
I mean, the countries that control this technology
Yeah.
are going to have a lot of influence.
It's not just about military strength anymore, is it?
I don't think so, no.
It's about who has the most advanced AI.
Exactly.
It's like a whole new game,
Yeah, a new kind of geopolitical chess game.
but with way higher stakes.
Oh, yeah, the stakes are incredibly high.
Will it lead to a multipolar world where power is distributed more evenly?
Right.
Or will it concentrate power in the hands of just a few?
Right. Like, will it be a tool for cooperation or a source of conflict? I think those are questions we can't really answer just yet.
Right. It's hard to predict.
Yeah.
But one thing that's clear is
Yeah.
We need that global dialogue
We do.
on AI governance
Absolutely. Setting those standards.
to make sure it's used responsibly.
Exactly.
And it's not just about preventing conflict between countries, right?
Right.
The book also talks about AI's impact on democracy.
Oh, yeah.
We've seen how it can be used to manipulate information,
Right.
spread misinformation,
Influence elections even.
and as AI gets more sophisticated, these threats are only going to grow.
Yeah, it's scary to think about.
It really is. It's like this new era of information warfare
Yeah.
where the battleground is literally our minds.
It's wild.
How can democracy even survive in this kind of world?
That's the question.
It is. Like, can we strengthen our institutions to be more resilient?
Right.
Can we teach people to be more discerning about the information they consume?
Those are the things we need to be figuring out.
Right now.
Yeah.
We can't just wait and see what happens.
We have to be proactive.
And that brings us to maybe the biggest question of all.
Yeah.
What does it even mean to be human?
Ooh, that's a deep one.
It is, right? In this AI-powered world.
Yeah, like as AI gets more and more capable.
It's blurring the lines between human and machine.
It is. So what makes us unique?
What sets us apart?
What is the essence of our humanity in this new era?
These are the kinds of questions philosophers have been asking for centuries.
Right.
But AI is forcing us to confront them in a whole new way.
Yeah, we have to reevaluate our values.
Our priorities.
What are the qualities that we should be cultivating as humans?
This is this new world.
Yeah.
It's a lot to think about.
It is.
This whole deep dive has really been an eye-opener.
Oh, yeah. It's a lot to process.
It's exciting, but it's also kind of scary.
Definitely both.
But I think the biggest takeaway is
Yeah.
that we're not powerless.
Absolutely not.
We have a choice.
Yeah.
We have a voice
We have a responsibility.
to shape the future of AI.
Exactly. It's not predetermined. It's up to us.
It's a call to action.
It is. For all of us, citizens, policymakers, researchers, to come together
And have these conversations
about the future we want.
with AI.
Exactly.
A future that's full of promise,
And peril.
and it's a future that we will shape together.
Yeah, we're all in this together.
Well, thanks for joining us on this deep dive into AI and international relations.
It's been a pleasure.
We've covered a lot,
We have.
and we hope you found it informative
And thought-provoking.
and maybe even a little bit inspiring.
I hope so.
We'll see you next time.